I've been hearing so much about this mess of girlfriends you have. Tell them to get over here right now. Good day, ladies. We cannot afford not to fight.
Okay, everyone. Hope you're doing well. All right, couple things first. Now, this video, I am going to be focusing on the segment of the trailer for this week's episode of Sisters, where Marie sits down with all the sisters, including Zatima, and according to the synopsis, Marie confronts the sister circle about their questionable decisions. And in the trailer, she tells Andy, I have been hearing so much about these friends of yours. Call them over here right now. We cannot afford not to fight. Okay. So let me just say up front, it was a few weeks ago when the synopsis was revealed for episode 16. And I remember doing a video on it going, oh man, this is going to be great. Marie is going to sit down and get these women into shape. This is what I've been waiting for. However, the lead up to this scene, oh yeah, this episode comes out on my mom's birthday. Haha. All right. So I knew, okay. Yeah, I was excited when I saw the day. I'm like, yeah, my mom's birthday. It's going to be a great episode. But I'm not so sure. Now, hopefully I'm wrong. You know, like I always give my thoughts, especially if you follow me on Twitter, whenever they release like a sneak peek of a clip, or excuse me, a sneak peek clip of an episode, I'll usually retweet it and then say, hey, here are my quick thoughts on it. And typically it's pretty, usually I give about 4 to 6 thoughts, bullet point style. Like, you know, here are my thoughts on, you know, the camera work. Is this scene really something to be excited about? Yada, yada, yada. I don't know if I am excited for this scene anymore because the build-up doesn't seem worth it. Now, I'm going to explain what I mean by that, but just a couple of things. Number one, there are plenty of videos I still have left to do that are Zatima related. Long story short, the weekend was a mix of choir rehearsal, church on Sunday morning, getting my sleep pattern together because I had a dentist appointment this morning. I didn't have a cavity because I went earlier this month, no cavity, but they had to redo an old filling that was like 10 years old because it kind of like chipped, half of it chipped out or something, I don't know. But my mouth was numb for most of the day. So there are plenty of videos I still need to do, but I'm not going to be fully capable of recording a good amount of videos until tomorrow. My mouth is no longer numb, but I'm not pushing myself. I just decided I'm going to get this one video done tonight, posted, and then, you know, tomorrow afternoon I'll start working on new stuff. Morris Chestnut Show Watson, I believe, dropped on yesterday, and I still need to watch it. I believe I can stream it on Paramount Plus if I'm not mistaken. And I think that a new episode of Papa's House came on tonight, so I'll watch those 2 shows and get those reviews up. I'm going to try to get them up before Sisters comes on Wednesday. Well, I say try because I know in some cases when it comes to like Paramount Plus, if a show drops on a certain night, that doesn't always mean you can stream it that same day. Sometimes it's like a few days later. So put it this way. I'll try to have the Watson series premiere and the new episode of Papa's House reviews up by the end of the week. I think that's the best way to say it. And also, they finally dropped the full 30-second promo for this week's episode of Sisters. I don't know why they dragged their feet with that because they only gave us the 15-second one. I don't know if I want to do a separate video on it because let's be real. This particular scene I'm talking about here with the sister circle with Marie, a brief segment of Danny in an HR meeting with Tony, and then Watt pretty much, you know, looking at the murder suspect board. Those are the only additional scenes and dialogue that are added to the trailer. So I might do like, you know, shorts on all that stuff, but yeah, it doesn't warrant me doing a full breakdown because I've already done a breakdown. But with that being said, make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like this video, hit subscribe, hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. And yeah, let's jump into this. So like I said, I've already recited and I showed you the brief portion of the trailer pertaining to this sister circle meeting. Like I said, I know Marie is going to eat this scene up because it's great. I mean, this actress knows how to command a scene, no matter who she's sharing it with. But I'm just trying to wrap my head around what exactly are these women fighting for. Now, I even wrote down, you know, like a couple of bullet points here about, the women and what they're allegedly fighting for. But this season hasn't done a good job portraying their battles. That's just my opinion. Case in point, we're going to start with Andy. Now, I think the writers truly dropped the ball. The moment that Gary popped up in the parking garage last season and gave Andy that ultimatum about marry me or I'm going to F up Jordan's life, that was pretty much the beginning of the end, because she was a complete, I don't even know how to describe it. I feel like I've just dragged this character through the mud so long. I don't even know what else to say. I just don't know what the writers were thinking, because it's like there were so many ways Andy could have worked her way into using Gary's arrogance against him to set him up for a fall. But at this point, I'm just like, she has to want this. There is no way Andy would be this stupid not to tell anybody, Penelope, Agent Watt, even Jordan, about Gary's schemes. But no, she didn't. And, well, things just got progressively worse. This season, she has just been a whiny crybaby, even more so than in previous seasons. Now, and I've said this each and every week, even if Robin does have some sort of hidden agenda or, an angle here, he is the owner of the firm. The only thing he's been doing is making sure his employees stay on task. Hayden, while Andy's out of the office, I know you're not a divorce attorney or family law attorney, but we're short-staffed right now, and I need you to, handle her caseload. Fatima, I need you to, help out Hayden. Fatima, I need you to not, go on personal calls or errands while you're on the clock. Oh, no, he's a villain. No, he's a freaking boss. Seriously, try to do what Fatima does at your job on the clock and see if your boss doesn't tell you, hey, why aren't you at your desk? You don't go to lunch for another 90 minutes. Oh, actually, I need to run an errand. Yeah, well, I need you on the clock while you're here. Like, what you do on your personal time or on break is, your thing. But come on, I just need you to please go back to work. And I'm just, I don't know. But she's acting so entitled. So Marie is obviously trying to push this whole, Andy, get up and get your job back because I brought my business to the firm. And you're just completely neglecting the fact that her fiance was stabbed and she's close in proximity to this attempted murder. And the company is rightfully pushing her out until the heat, is off. So for Marie to keep saying, you got to keep fighting, I don't even know what Andy's fighting for. Because like I said, I think she truly gave up the moment Gary presented her with his ultimatum. And I mean, if anybody plays video games, and I don't mean, look, you don't have to be a current gamer to know this, but if you just know the basics of like Super Mario Brothers, Princess Peach is always kidnapped by Bowser. And I feel like despite being kidnapped like 500 something times, no matter how many times she gets rescued, I feel like she even puts up more of a fight than Andy has been putting up a fight as of recently. And to be honest though, that's what's making me upset. It's the fact that Andy has been a passive character for what feels like an eternity. And I know it hasn't even been like a full season, but it just feels like Andy's just there. Remember when Andy used to feel like the main character of the show? Yeah, it's been years, right? And it just feels like everybody else is getting something to do except for her. I mean, let's be real here. Zach and Fatima took over officially, in my mind, in season 3. Season 2 is when, they first came together and then they were getting such a huge following. But season 3, when Fatima or Crystal joined the opening title sequence, I feel like that's when, it was fully embedded that, yeah, this is the Zach and Fatima show featuring the Sister Circle. But Andy has just been, trying to play Nancy Drew. Then she got found out by Gary. And at this point, you really can't convince me she doesn't just want to be with Gary. And it's just playing the field because all these men are fawning over her. But the moment one of these guys is fed up with her BS, then she wants to get butthurt about it and cast them to the side, despite the fact that they rightfully have a grudge against her or a reason to be pissed off. Yet Gary can screw her over, not even sexually. I mean, like, screw her over and F up her life time and time again. Yet she'll still find her way back to him. But like I said, earlier this season, when she was, what was it, episode 3 or something? Basically, when the girls came over and found Robin there and then he left. And then it was the girls and Andy talking about the Gary situation. It's like, you know what? I couldn't, for a moment, I was relieved, but then I just started to think, I can't imagine a world without Gary in it. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, yeah, she's still in love with this man. She's still in love with this man, and you cannot convince me otherwise. So Andy fighting for something, even though this isn't her firm and she was rightfully cut, I think is stupid. And I do know that episode 19, she's gonna, what's the synopsis? With the help of Marie, she's going to go back to the firm and reclaim the position she was promised. And I'm like, here we are. So let's move on. I'm sorry. Yeah, let's move to another sister. Sabrina, I guess for her, it's about the sperm thing. I mean, Marie's probably going to tell her well, you need to fight and become a mother, because if you want to be a mother, then forget that Rich or whoever that guy is. If he doesn't want to support you because you want to be a mom, then throw him to the curb. Sabrina. Okay, this is the thing that has me pissed off. Marie confronts the sister circle about their questionable decisions. It's the lack of accountability. Because here's the thing. Marie tells Andy, I've been hearing so much about your girls. My guess is that she hears bits and pieces from Pam. Because remember, Pam, was the one who initiated the investment with Marie in the first place. And we know how much of a blabbermouth she is. So it's not that Andy, I don't think Andy has been, telling Marie about all these, secrets and problems that the girls are going through. I think it's Pam. Because from my perspective, Andy has been on the bench for so long. She's kind of been missing out. Like, obviously she doesn't know too much about the Danny and Tony thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does Andy even know that Danny had a panic attack? I don't think so. Sabrina knows, and Karen knows, and Fatima knows, but I don't think that Andy knows. Like I said, correct me if I'm wrong, but these girls are dealing with the messy situations from their own decisions. So it's not like, I just feel like this is going to be a, girl power, black woman needs to fight moment, because we're being oppressed by, like, the world has its, has its knee on black women's back, and women's back, and then even black when we have it harder. But it's like, what about the piss poor decisions they have been making? Like, 9 times out of 10, well, let's be real here, 10 times out of 10, when you go around this entire sister circle table meeting, all these women are in crappy situations because of their own decisions pertaining to men. They had, for the most part, they had men who were not perfect. Let's be real, none of these men were perfect, but they've all had men who would have presented far less trouble, toxicity, and more love and caring and understanding than the men that they chose to pursue. Like, let's be real here. Now, with Sabrina, the whole egg and sperm thing, I still think she played Rich. Like, for example, I said way back when, it's like, okay, so, because I was actually talking with another fan about this today. I said, look, I've only had, like, one serious girlfriend. That was 10th grade. It's not like we went out on dates or anything, but it was a girl, at school. And that lasted for, like, a couple months, and then that was it. So, I have not had a relationship since then. And this was, like, 2006 or 7 or something, which shows you I have been single for quite a long time. Yes, when I was in Lynchburg, when I was in college, and after I graduated and started working, I did go on a couple days here and there, but nothing ever really stuck. But I just know that my perspective on the dating world is completely null and void compared to how dating is in 2025. But I think the same can be said. Okay, obviously we live in more of a hookup culture due to like online dating apps and stuff like that. I'm not here to preach about that, but I'm just here to make a point. When it comes to a relationship, okay, let's say me and a girl were dating, all right? And we dated for 3 months. Keep in mind, I'm referencing season 7 when Sabrina brought up she wanted to be a mom. Remember, there was a 3 month time jump between season 6 and 7. All right. So by that time, Rich and Sabrina have been more or less dating for close to, if not a little over 3 months. All right. Here's my thing. If I was dating a woman for 3 months, I am pretty confident that before we hit 3 months, we might have been talking about the future in terms of like, hey, we're not getting married tomorrow, but like, what's your stance on, and not to mention these people are in their mid 30s. Like Sabrina just turned 35. So she was 34 during the time skip, and I'm 33, So, and then of course, women have their biological clocks and whatnot. So let's say I was dating a woman who's like no younger than 29. I'm just throwing out a number here. All right. So 29. Yeah, the subject of children would have come up sooner than a 3 month period. I just feel like that's quite the obvious thing. Like, if it's clear that me and her are exclusive in terms of, hey, I'm only dating you and you're only dating me, so we're going to see where this goes. Yeah, we would have had that conversation. So Sabrina had every opportunity to go, you know what? I don't think it's best we stay together if we have these major differing opinions on starting a family. And that conversation did show up in the juice bar, but Rich was like, instead of feeling like we're wasting each other's times, why don't we just keep going for a little bit longer, see if one of us maybe changed our stance on things, and then, we'll follow up on this conversation. So it felt like there was a mutual understanding of, hey, Rich doesn't want to have kids, Sabrina does want to have kids, and they'll take a bit more time to figure things out and then check in with each other. But then wasn't it like the very next episode, Rich was excited to show his lady, hey, you're the first one to see the plans for my new shop. Like, he was really excited about this, expansion of his juice bar. And then when he's, showing her the blueprints like this, he's like a guy, he's like a boy opening up his Christmas presents, notices a new toy and wants to show, his folks. That's pretty much what he was doing. And more importantly, like, this is the lady. He's excited to let Sabrina in on this next level, basically leveling up his establishment. So Sabrina, what was it? I think a woman came into the juice shop holding a baby. And as an impulsive reaction, I'm deciding if I'm going to freeze my eggs. And then it's like, wait, what? And that literally killed Rich's, mojo at the moment. He was like, yeah, so I got to go get to work. It's busy in here. It's a busy hour. It's like there were like 2 people in the store and the person behind the counter is already handling it. And I was just like, that was very selfish of Sabrina. Now, it is her decision to freeze her eggs. I am not denying that at all. That is her body and whatnot. But it just feels like it completely went against the established understanding that her and Rich had in the previous episode. Basically, Sabrina, look, if you know in your heart that you want kids and that's not going to change, then just you and Rich need to cut it off now. But even still, it does seem odd to like I said, I don't, maybe it's just me because I've been single for, over a decade and a half, but I can't fathom if I met someone just randomly, if I met a girl, like, let's say by the end of this month, and she's like, I want to be a mom. I'm like, okay, but I'm not like going to knock you up right now. Like, I mean, I barely know you. Why are we going to just... Because if you've been on this channel, you know my stance on this thing. I'm old-fashioned. I am personally saving myself for marriage. So that honeymoon night will be the night I lose my V card. But also on top of that, I don't want kids until after I get married. So for me, I'm not trying to be a statistic, a black man out here creating broken homes. Because, like, let's say I get a girl knocked up, but then within a couple of months after the kids here, we just break up because we decide we just aren't meant to be. Then why did we create a life together in the first place? Again, I'm not trying to preach up here, but I'm trying to make a point. So I don't really know what Marie can tell Sabrina, because I feel like Sabrina's going to be sad. It's like, my man, it turns out his sperm isn't a viable, sample for my, the procedure I'm going through. But there's another guy who actually is. And I feel like Marie is going to gas her up into, well, tell Rich he needs to get with the program. If you want to be a mother, then be a mother. And I'm like, manipulation, Sabrina. Then we get to Karen. What I gotta say, I honestly don't know what Karen can be told. Obviously, a lot of people want Karen to be put in her place. I just feel like Marie snapping on her kind of negates the conversation that Fatima and Karen had last week, which I still feel was BS, because ain't no way in heck she's going to allow her baby to call Fatima Mama Fatima. It's just like, Karen, you can't tell Karen anything. And even if you do, she's not going to abide by it. Like, Karen is in her current predicament because of her own bed hopping. That's well, technically wall hopping, because Zach had her pinned up against the wall. And then Aaron, they were in the bed, but still, it's like, Marie, I mean, yeah, you were like, a single mom when you started your career and whatnot, but Karen's knocked up by two men because of her own poor decision making, but she has two men who are willing and able to be fathers to her kids. So I don't really know exactly what Marie's going to tell her, but hey. Then when it comes to Danny, like the others, she made her own decisions. She got rid of a good man, Preston, because she decided to cheat with Tony, a dude who admitted to like stalking her. And hey, again, her own piss poor decision making. This is the chick who had a hot girl summer, who almost got killed. This is a hell of her own making. So I wonder if her fight is the HR situation, which, to be fair, this is a Tony thing. He is the VP. He should have known better, abusing his position to favor Danny, like getting her PTO and, putting her in that leadership program above other people who are more qualified, and, going up to her kiosk and, displaying PDA in front of customers and other workers. Yeah, that's more of a, Tony thing than a Danny thing. I mean, if Danny fully explained how they started courting each other, I think Tony would be in far more trouble. Like, harassing one of your employees, constantly parking next to her, listening in on her conversations. Tony, he could be accused of abusing his power and stuff like that. I mean, yikes. So that's kind of on you, Danny. What are you fighting for? And then when it comes to Fatima, I got question marks by her name, because I'm just like, I honestly have no idea what Marie can tell Fatima to fight for. So that's pretty much it. Like I said, I have no doubt in my mind this is going to be a great scene, but I feel like I'm just going to be looking clueless like Marie. I feel you, but these women are not going to tell you everything. They're only going to tell you about how men have put them down. And it's like, Rich doesn't want me to have a baby by another man, but his sperms are defective. Yeah, Tony is trying to change me and doesn't accept me for who I am. If Robin had kicked me out of the law firm, my promised position of partner is gone. And then it's like, well, my baby daddies keep, arguing back and forth. Just, man, I'm sorry. It's funny because all the people are like, how come you talk trash about Zatima all season but not Sisters? How do they don't watch my content, because they know oh man, this season of Sisters has been something else. So let's just see how things unfold. Why don't we get a clip of this? If there was ever a scene to get a clip of, give us a clip of this. This is the main thing I want to see before the episode drops on Wednesday night. So let me know your thoughts on, do you think this is just going to be a huge waste of time? Do you think Marie's going to give solid advice, but the sisters really aren't going to apply it to their, messy lives? Or like, let me know in the comments, what are these women fighting for? I guess that is the main thing. Marie's like, you know what? We got to fight. And I'm like, what the are you fighting for? And what's the point of fighting a battle if you're fighting for the wrong thing? I don't know. Okay, like and subscribe. Oh, dang, this is almost 30 minutes long. Yeah, let me wrap this up. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.